After the July 2013 general elections, both Hun Sen and his opponent's Cambodia National Rescue Party claimed victory. In August, Hun Sen continued to pursue his aim of forming a new government. 60 Cambodians in the United States, Canada and elsewhere, with hundreds of Buddhist monks, peacefully protested in front of the United Nations in New York City on 19 August in opposition to Hun Sen's deployment of military and security forces in Phnom Penh, his unwillingness to share political power with opposition groups and seriously address earlier voting fraud and election irregularities. One person was killed and others injured during protests in Phnom Penh in September 2013, where a reported 20,000 protesters gathered, some clashing with riot police. 62 Following 2 weeks of opposition protests, Hun Sen declared that he had been constitutionally elected and would not step down nor hold a new election. On September 7, 2013, tens of thousands of Cambodians, along with Buddhist monks and opposition groups, including Sam Rainsy's Cambodian National Rescue Party, held mass demonstrations in Phnom Penh to protest the 28th of July elections results, which they claimed were flawed and marred by voting irregularities and potential fraud. The groups asked the United Nations to investigate and claimed that the elections' results were not free and fair. On January 3, 2014, military police opened fire at protesters, killing 4 people and injuring more than 20. 66 The United Nations and U.S. State Department condemned the violence. 67-68 U.S. Congressman Ed Royce responded to the report of violence in Cambodia by calling for Hun Sen to step down, saying that the Cambodian people deserve a better leader. On June 10, 2014, Hun Sen made a public appearance and claimed he has no health problems. He warned that if he were to die prematurely, the country would spin out of control and the opposition could expect trouble from the armed forces, saying he is the only person who can control the army. In November 2016, Hun Sen publicly endorsed U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, who went on to be elected president. Following Hun Sen's orders, on January 31, 2017, the National Assembly voted unanimously to abolish the minority leader and majority leader positions to lessen the opposition party's influence. 72 On February 2, 2017, Hun Sen barred the opposition from questioning some of his government ministers. 73 Furthermore, Hun Sen vowed a constitutional amendment which later saw the opposition Cambodia National Rescue Party dissolved. 74 This move led to the surprise resignation of opposition leader Sam Rainsy. 75 The controversial law was passed on February 20, 2017, effectively granting the ruling party the right to dissolve political parties. 76 Opposition leader Kem Sokha was later arrested for treason. On June 30, 2018, weeks before the parliamentary elections, Hun Sen appointed his second eldest son, Hun Manet, into higher military positions. Some analysts have speculated Manet may be a future candidate for Sen's position. 78 Hun Sen affirmed that his son could become prime minister if elected rather than through direct handover, though he intends to rule until at least 2028. 79 The 2018 elections were dismissed as sham elections by the international community, 80-81 the opposition party having been dissolved. Hun Sen blocked the return of exiled Cambodia National Rescue Party leaders to Cambodia, including Sam Rainsy and Musakwa, in November 2019. He ordered the military to attack them on sight should they return. 82 Threatened airlines with legal actions for allowing them to board, deployed thousands of troops to the Thai and Vietnamese borders, and requested other ASEAN leaders arrest them and deport them to Cambodia. In 2020, the European Union suspended its everything but arms preferential trade agreement with Cambodia due to concerns over human rights violations under Hun Sen's government. Tencent criticized the move as biased and unfair, including at the United Nations General Assembly in 2020. During the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, Hun Sen downplayed the risk of the virus and declined to introduce preventative measures or evacuate Cambodian citizens from Wuhan during the initial outbreak in China. It was widely reported this was in an attempt to show solidarity with China, one of Cambodia's closest diplomatic and economic allies. Hun Sen visited China during the outbreak and offered to visit Wuhan specifically during its lockdown. In February 2020, at a press conference, he criticized the media for sensationalizing the virus, and threatened to expel those present who were wearing masks. Hun Sen was also present to welcome passengers of the MS Westerdam cruise ship to dock in Sinicville, after it was turned away from other countries. 84 85 86 87 Cambodia started implementing preventative measures and travel restrictions from March 2020 as the pandemic spread globally. A new state of emergency law prepared in response to COVID-19 granted Hun Sen further powers to restrict movement and assembly, seize private property and enforce quarantine. The new law has been criticized by Amnesty International for curbing human rights.